everyone. Welcome to Geeks and Drinks. I'm Jason.
Jordan.
And for this week, we got some news about our thoughts about Game of Thrones. We have news about Batman. We have news about...
We have nerd news.
Yeah,
Surprise.
tons. What else do we talk about at this point?
Booze.
But let's talk about booze real quick. So, in honor of with Game of Thrones series finale on Sunday itself, Jess actually bought these awesome Game of Thrones glasses. And what is inside this? Huh?
So did I, fucker.
Oh, that's right. You bought some too.
Yeah. We decided to go halvesies on them for some reason. Because Jess decided we needed a full set of each.
I mean, I don't blame either of you for that. But what is in this?
Arbor
though?
Gold.
So what is in an Arbor Gold?
Well, technically, Arbor Gold is a drink that I took from, or made from the show How to Drink, which is a pretty cool YouTube show. It's cognac, simple syrup, Benedictine, Saint Germain. That's pretty much it, I think.
What the hell is Saint Germain?
It's the elderflower liqueur. Tastes like
butt. Okay. All right. And you say it's actually pretty good, though?
Yeah, you've never had it before?
No, I've never had it before.
I could have sworn you had.
You were testing it, but I wasn't around when you tested it.
No, I could have sworn you made it right then and there. No.
That's actually quite tasty. A bit thicker than I was actually expecting. That's still quite tasty, though.
I think it's the Benedictine and the simple syrup.
Yeah, the simple syrup can definitely thicken it up.
And it's cognac, too, so.
Which is not really a light liqueur anyway, so.
Yeah.
But, no, quite tasty.
And then as backups, I brought my scotches.
What do we got here? More Game of Thrones stuff?
Yep.
So we talked about these when they were announcing the limited edition of these. Each of these are actually from a different distillery, right?
Yep.
So which one do we have here? We have Targaryen, Tully, Stark. And who do we have these from? Pardue, Singleton, and
Glendulon.
Now, you've tried more than these.
No, I've only had these 3.
Oh, you've only had these 3. I thought you had more than these.
No, literally, if you went to any liquor store, they sold that shit out super quick.
Were they even more expensive than usual, or were they just this is a cool thing and they just sold out very quickly?
Each one was $30 at most.
Oh, wow.
I think this was the most expensive at $40.
Okay. So with these 3 though, which would be your favorite?
Oh, Targaryen.
Easily. Okay. Nothing to do with the character, but just the drink itself is tasty. Okay. Sounds good.
You know my theory. I'm still holding out. I know it's going to be wrong, but still.
We'll get to that in a little bit. But let's get to some conversation starters and start off with some news that
just came out
literally
less than an
just
hour ago.
before we started recording. And it has been not confirmed, but basically confirmed. That Robert Pattinson is going to be playing the Batman in the upcoming Matt Reeves directed film, The Batman.
Team Sparkles.
I don't want to start initially jumping in and how he's, Captain Sparkles and how he's going to be horrible at it. It's the same thing we've had with when people bash.
It's like Doctor Who. Anytime you get a new one, someone's going to bitch. People hated Michael Keaton because he was just coming off of things like Dr. Mom, or not Dr. Mom, Mr. Mom.
There you go.
And fucking Beetlejuice.
Right.
You're like, you're going to have a comedic actor play my dark Batman, and how fantastic was he?
Yeah.
People said the same thing about Batfleck. They're like, oh, how dare they? And I'm like, fuck
And
yeah.
he was the best part of the whole thing itself.
And Batfleck was awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, with this, though, are we going to try to just give him the benefit of the doubt and see what happens with this? Or
look, even when they first threw around his name and they gave 5 or 6 other actors that it could possibly be, I was Team Sparkles. Remember?
That's right, you were. And I mocked you for it because I was like, there's no way. Absolutely, there's no way. I just thought more along the lines of he would be...
Why are you hating on Cedric Diggory?
Because you know I'm going to.
You ever seen Remember Me?
A long time ago?
That 9/11 movie he was in.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Pierce Brosnan was his dad. Anyways. Becca had me watch that, and I'm like, really? Fucking Captain Sparkles? She's like, no, it's a good movie. Fucking check it out. I'm like, Then I watched it. I'm like, wow, you're actually an actor and shit.
Yeah.
You don't just show up and make angsty, awkward eyes at someone with heroin face.
True. So, okay, well, we'll have to see with this.
Go look at any of the fun fan edits, like him dressed up in a suit supposed to be Bruce Wayne, or there was 1 or 2 of him in the bat suit, and it's yeah, I could see that.
Gotcha. Okay. And it's not like the guy is not doing anything right now.
People
He
also
has
hated
like,
Christian Bale. Remember? So like, really, the fucking dude from Newsies,
yeah.
or the fact that he just came off of doing The Machinist. So
Mhm.
everyone's like, really, that little twig of
That
a
little
man?
twig, yeah.
You're gonna have him be? Oof.
He's also one of those people that's like, I have to be what size for this role? Done.
Well, yeah, during The Machinist, he ate like an apple a day.
If
That was
that.
it. No, legitimately, like, they was like, that's all he ate, like an apple a day, and that was
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous sometimes. We'll have to see what happens with all this. I mean, the guy is gonna be busy anyways. He has like 4 movies coming out within the next year and a half. Anyways,
Bitch, I've yet to be wrong.
he has a 5th movie that's coming out. It's been next Netflix exclusive. I think he has some other new movie he's working with Christopher Nolan for like 2020, 2021 or something like that.
All I'm saying is, I've yet to be wrong.
That's true. I will not doubt your track record on all this. So, all right. So, I'm sure it'll be official probably by tomorrow morning, if not
Something like that.
something like that.
Well, because the other name that people are still throwing around is Nicholas Hoult, which I'm like, no. No.
Well, let's talk about something that is officially announced. The next Star Wars film after the Rise of Skywalker will be, well, first off, won't be for another 3 years, which is good. They need to pull back a little bit. We've
Let
had
people forget that it's being done by D&D,
It's gonna happen.
D.B. Weiss and David Beinhoff.
Yes.
Let's give them the 3 years so people forget the fact they're fucking up season 8.
I mean, they're already filming the prequels, spinoffs.
How long? You know, the one that you said was canceled, and I'm like, no, it's not
No,
canceled.
I said one of them was canceled, not all of them.
You said they were canceled. I'm like, no.
I
man.
said one was canceled. Anyways,
Go back and look at previous episodes. I'm not going to, but just go.
yeah,
Prove my superiority.
no. I'm right on this one. Anyways, so yes, the creators behind Game of Thrones will be helming the next movie, if not the next film trilogy. Now, there is an interesting rumor that came out aside from this, and which is it hurts you so much to say his name, doesn't it?
It hurts because I hate him. I hate him so much. Because this goes back to, again, the rumor came out that Rian Johnson's trilogy was canceled.
They keep on
Now,
saying that.
Rian Johnson's established as a director. David Beinhoff and D.B. Weiss are not known for directing. So the rumor is they're going to write and produce, and they're going to be fucking directed by Rian Johnson. Which that just sounds terrible.
Sounds wonderful. Bring more of that. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm still hoping they're doing like a reverse. Whatever. Like, Disney's not going to admit they fucked up by trying to announce, like, yes, Rian Johnson, after this movie, he's going to finish off this trilogy, and then we're giving him his own trilogy to go do. And then he fucked up Last Jedi, and they're like, never mind. Where he's not doing the 3rd movie anymore. We'll look who we brought back.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's
Don't
JJ.
worry.
Don't forget.
He's still going to have his trilogy later down the road. 2 minutes later, oh, that was canceled. Haha, they have no faith in him. Whoa. Now you're saying Disney fucked up. We would never. His trilogy is still happening. And then eventually, like, 2 days after this was announced, it's like, by the way, no, seriously, his shit was canceled. Because we don't want any part of it.
Speaking of Disney not wanting to be looked like they did something wrong, James Gunn has finally broken his silence about the whole, shamil about his firing from Guardians of the Galaxy 3, all his personal issues going through all of that, all of the studios that came knocking at his door the second he was fired. And then,
DC.
of course, his DC, Sony, Warner Brothers, a few others. So
Yeah.
a lot of people came knock on his doors like, yeah, we want
We
you
don't
for
give
all
a
this.
shit.
Yeah, because this is stuff that when he was working as
Trauma.
a director for a writer for Trauma. This was 10 years earlier. This was something he's already previously apologized for,
Multiple times.
and even still after all of that fucking right wing website, kept on
Dude,
putting that hit piece out on him to the point that Disney was like, we need to do something, even though Iger was on vacation.
yeah. Guys, I had nothing to do with this. I was on vacation. But I backed their decision. But I was on vacation. Like, I wasn't even on Skype that time.
Yeah. I wasn't able to be reached. I'm one of the most powerful people in the industry, and yeah, there's no way you could have called me or my
Yeah,
agent.
there is no way that he wasn't at least asked or told about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I call horseshit on that. But
yeah, it's a good read. It's on Deadline. You can go read it. It's a pretty lengthy read. Basically how he took all the news, how he decided he wasn't going to try to fight back on it and just try to stay quiet, stay out of the limelight.
because he's like, look, I get it. I'm not happy about this at all. But
what are you going to do?
throwing a shitstorm is just going to make him look worse.
He was more depressed about the fact he couldn't finish Rocket's story than anything else.
Well, that's one of the rumors, especially with the rumor that Mark Hamill's going to be involved. The rumors that Mark Hamill's going to be the one that creates Rocket.
I think that'd be a great tie-in. I think it'd be fantastic. Also in this piece, he was talking to Alan Horn, who informed him that he was going to get rehired back, and that Disney didn't even actually talk to anybody, officially or unofficially, about taking over the role.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Ostrich. Anyways, so the problem is when he found out about this, like the day before, he signed on and agreed to do Suicide Squad. So he was scared shitless, like going back and saying, yeah, I got this thing now, and if you're cool with that, I can do both, or one right after the other.
Wait, give me the fact. Did you hear who's involved to be in Suicide Squad now? Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
Michael Rooker.
Rooker's already come out and said he's not.
Ah.
Yeah. But Dave Bautista hasn't said anything aside from that, and...
Well, no, Rooker said he's not involved, but he would like to.
That's... Yeah.
Sorry, he hasn't confirmed. He's like, yeah, but I'm open to the idea.
Also known as, come on, give me a call. You know it's going to happen.
No, we've talked about it, and that's been cool, but no one's sent a contract yet.
Right.
That's what that means.
Can't say anything officially yet, so I have to, feign ignorance or deniability.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Because, if it ends up going south, then you look like the asshole that claimed you were in something when you weren't.
Right, exactly. So, so we have Suicide Squad 2 he's going to work on. Then he's going to be working on Guardians 3. He also has...
Which kind of works out, because remember they pushed back Guardians 3 when they first fired him.
Yes, they did. So I'm glad that they were going down this path. To try not to make him do both things at the same time. That would just be ridiculous for anybody at that point.
Plus, he got to do his little art piece with Brightburn.
I really want to see that film, how that's going to turn out. There's another bit in here that when he was writing for Suicide Squad, as much as he loved all the characters and everything he's done for Guardians of the Galaxy, he had so much fun writing Suicide Squad 2's story that he finished that and like 2 revisions.
Suicide Squad, the reboot?
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. No one wants to say that the first one actually truly happened. But yeah, I don't think I've had as much fun writing a script since
Academy Award winning Suicide Squad.
I hate the fact that that's an official thing, but anyways,
for makeup.
But still it counts. But yeah, according his exact words were for the Suicide Squad, it instantly started flowing. I don't think I've had as much fun writing a script since maybe Dawn of the Dead. That's what this whole movie has been like. Cool, awesome. If he has that type of excitement for it, I really hope that it translates to the screen, and we'll see what happens with that. And we'll actually go see it, not ironically or begrudgingly.
Because my dad wanted to see Margot Robbie in hot pants.
Okay, fair enough. So of all the people you thought that could possibly try to be attached to a Saw reboot, which didn't really need to happen in the first place, there's 7 of those movies?
No. I want to see if there's like 8 or 9.
Jesus.
Because Saw itself goes all the way to 8.
Last I remember was 5. Jesus.
It goes all the way to 8, and then there's Jigsaw.
Okay. But anyways, while you're looking that up, so Chris Rock in this interview with Variety was basically saying he's been a fan of Saw since the first film in 2004, and he decided to reach out to Lionsgate and go, I have a really cool idea, a really gruesome way. I want to reboot this franchise. I want to get that that shot in there. And they turned around and said, yeah, there you go. We already, here's money. You're going to be directing this. You're going to help write this. And by the way, this will be released October 23rd of 2020. Go. So he has a few other people who are helping him because really isn't his baby. This is his first time out with it. Darren Lynn Bousman, who actually directed Saw 2, 3, and 4, will be there to help him out with this. The screenplay is a story conceived by The Rock himself and a few other people. Of course, he'll be executive producing it as well. And there is James Wan. He's going to be a producer on this, like you said.
There you go. There's Saw 6. And then there is Saw the Final Chapter. And then there's Jigsaw.
That's
So
crazy.
there's 8.
That's crazy.
I have them all, that's why.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So, this is not the only thing Chris Rock's doing lately. That's kind of outside of what people expected him to be. He's also going to be in the next season of Fargo.
Dude, I love the fact that there was a giant story out there. A bunch of people lost their shit because he got uncle zoned by Rihanna. He tried to talk to her, and she's like, "Yeah, you're basically you're like an uncle to me." And he immediately was like, "Oh, I feel shot down." And I just made me think it's like, bitch, she probably only knows you as like the zebra from fucking Madagascar.
I mean, that's quite possible itself. So what are you thinking that the budget's going to be for this? It can't be much.
I don't know. I don't care enough.
Do you think it's
gonna come out? It'll be interesting. It won't be as good as the original.
Right.
It might spawn another 1 or 2, but it won't have the same amount of legs as the original.
Well, because
It's just not gonna happen.
Saw was just a unique enough release at its time, and there's not the same environment out there for something like that.
Well,
at this point.
It was the first American, like the first studio produced torture porn.
Right.
And even then, that only came around from like the second and third one, because the first one, I remember, was just 2 dudes
in a bathroom
fucking
trying to
with
get
each other mentally.
Yeah.
You know, one of them was the dreaded Pirate Roberts. Fucking Carrie Yules. And it was an interesting enough story. That's why it worked. Yeah. Number 2, it's like, all right, he has an apprentice, whatever. The third one, oh, the apprentice is crazy and he's dead. Oh, no, he's not dead, which we learned in 4. And it just kind of spirals out of control. But because they were super cheap and easy to make, they were shitting a new one out every year.
Yeah.
Because they could. And I remember after, the third one even said, this is the final chapter. And then, like I just said, number 7, which is just titled The Final Chapter. Then there's 8, which is Jigsaw.
That's just ridiculous. I mean, and they were big money makers at the time. Like the first one only had like $1.5 million budget, and it made like $100 million easily.
Well, that again, we had that little rush. You know, we also had like Paranormal Activity come out at that time.
Which they're also rebooting as well.
Which is another movie I saw. I was like, this is shit. And they made how many?
Yeah, I lost count after like 3. They made more than 3?
Yeah, probably.
Jesus Christ. All right.
First one, I couldn't even finish the first one. Well, no, I take that back. I did finish it, but I think I sat there like this the entire time. Just wishing for the sweet release of death. Or the end of the movie.
All right.
Whichever one came first.
Let's just wrap that up. Yeah, so Chris Rock is doing his own take. I guess I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Let's talk about some Batman news, shall we?
Jealous of Jordan Peele getting all that horror money.
See, he was a comedian. He made a boatload of money switching over. I could do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Gotta get in. That's what the young men are doing. Okay, Jordan Peele.
He's not young though.
That's what I'm saying. He's trying to be like the young kids. Okay, come on. Knocked up a white woman. Is winning Academy Awards. He's living the dream.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's move on to some Batman news.
Back to Batman news.
Back to Batman, because Batman's enjoyable. It's also Batman 80th anniversary, so of course we're gonna get a lot of Batman stuff coming out for the rest of this year. We have a trailer finally for Batman Hush, the next animated motion picture from DC Universe. This one looks good. I enjoyed the comics. You actually loaned me them a while back to read.
Sure.
I'm not going to get into the story of it. Just actually find them. You can read them in its entirety very quickly. It's still a fantastic read to go then go see this.
And the art in the comic is amazing, too. It's by Jim Lee.
Yes, it is. So it's one of those that I was hoping that style would transfer well to animation. Yes and no.
Well, no, they went straight with like that weird art style they've been using.
That like hybrid Batman the Animated Series, the Batman style.
No, whatever this is. Like the modern one they keep using for like The one you're thinking about is the art they used for the Ninja Turtle one, which we got a clip of
Yes.
this week as well.
Yes, yes.
No, I'm like the Atlantis one that came out, the Suicide Squad one that came out. I want to say even it came out. They used it for Justice League Doom.
Yeah, it was similar to that
It's
style.
that kind of art style.
Yeah.
That's very similar to the Young Justice cartoons. Perfect example.
I guess it's just one of those that they have a certain style. They want to keep it to make it all tied in together, I guess. I don't know. But this one, basically, all of Batman's villains keeps on popping up seemingly all together out of nowhere. They're all in a coordinated battle to throw Batman off at this point. And they're all head by Hush, which turns out to be someone who knows Batman in a very personal way, but we won't get into that part itself. Basically, the trailer looks fun. I'm hoping it follows the story very well that we had in the original comic. The cast is fairly vast at this point.
It is what it's got. Rainn Wilson.
I mean, he's Lex Luthor. What do you expect him to do at that point? What else is Rainn doing nowadays?
Stop doing things in general?
He's not going to do that. He wants parts of it, so.
I'm sorry. When they blatantly said Jerry O'Connell, sliders. That's what you're having to
That's
list
what you
him
have
as?
him listed as sliders. Sean Maher, Vanessa Williams.
Getting their name and
Jason
shit like I'm
Stizak.
supposed to know who the fuck they are, and it's like, no.
A few of these people I actually, I've heard of before. So.
I'm
I don't
sorry.
know.
Jerry O'Connell, Rainn Wilson, and Rebecca Romaine.
Yeah.
Outside of them, do you know any of those names? I know you're trying to search your little database in the back of your head, trying to figure out, oh, it shows that asshole was in Firefly. Who the fuck was he in Firefly?
Wait, what?
Scroll down. Right there. Sean Marr.
Sean Maher? I don't remember what he was in Firefly.
See?
Oh, well.
That's a show we know and love, and they're
There
listing
still
him
is
in it, and we're
nobody.
like, who?
It can't be all winners at that point. I will say, though, that there's another animated series coming out in DC Universe. I think it's Gotham Sirens, I think it is. And Joker in that one is going to be voiced by Alan Tudyk. I'm fine with that. Especially with the what he's been doing so far in Doom Patrol. I cannot wait. I know you do not care. Drink your... Yeah, there you go. Let's talk about Game of Thrones, shall we?
All right. Drink your drink.
What the fuck is going on this season?
Uh-huh.
What were we discussing earlier? How this is just such a bad season. Much less the end of the series.
You
But
gotta wait for Game of Thrones Brotherhood.
I wasn't going to spit that up. Nope.
Spitters or quitters, Jason?
Yeah, this season's been rough. I'm sure many people have seen online the number of people who have been speaking about their displeasure about where everything is going, how everything seems to have just gone off the cliff, gone off the rails.
There's a petition to have him redo the last season.
Yep, let's see where that's at right now. It is currently at 691,291. Sorry, 93, 94.
93. It stopped for now. There's 4.
There's 4.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's at like 300. I'm like, dude, it's at 500,000.
And we were both wrong. It's almost
And
at
then you refreshed,
700,000.
and it was like another 200.
Jesus Christ. I mean, these things don't mean anything, but still, it's just... Part of this is probably people who were actually genuinely upset about it, and there's probably a bunch of other people who have signed this who are just like, get on that hype hate train and go through
This
that
is
path.
funny. I'll sign it.
Yeah, exactly. It's anyways. But yeah, ever since I'd say it started season 7, things have
So
gone
last
at
season.
a significantly faster pace than people were expecting, and there's been a lot of people writing online what they thought the reason is for that. I did come across one recently from Daniel Silverman. He is a professor. I forget at which university. I'm horrible for not looking that up beforehand. But he actually has a really interesting way to describe what's been happening, not only with Game of Thrones, the series, but also the books themselves. That you can look at each of these type of writers as one of two types. You either have a plotter or you have a pantser. Now, a plotter will go through and actually plot out all the major story arc points, the beginning, the end, the major hit points to find out, the turns, and then be able to work the characters around with that. You will have a completed story by the end of it, but your characters may feel a little flat because they don't feel as developed. That is what initially that George R. R. Martin started to do with the book Song of Ice and Fire. Then from there, he wanted to actually expand the characters organically and see where they go. But unfortunately, in doing so, they start going off in different paths and different tangents that he wasn't initially intending to go, but he wants the characters to grow, and they follows them as they go, to the point where he's had to expand the books to, like, when this is all said and done, probably going to be like 9 novels to go through all of this.
Again, as I mentioned earlier, Robert Jordan and the Wheel of Time series.
Yes.
The only difference is George Martin's still around, whereas Robert Jordan passed away, and he was only supposed to have, I think, like he was only supposed to have the one more book before passing away.
Right.
And then like his assistant or some shit was like, "Oh, I'll finish the book where he left off." He left notes like I could do this, and then he looked at all the notes, and it's like this is like 2 or 3 more books.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they ended up having to make 2 or 3 more books.
Something like that. They weren't nearly as good, but again, they were just
because it wasn't him writing it.
Exactly. But that's part of the books. Now, looking at as I call them D&D, the creators of the TV series itself, they were obviously big fans of the books, and they had the rights to go ahead and try to make the series. And they've talked to George R. R. Martin a few times about it. The thing is, they started being plotters about this as well, in the sense that, okay, you kind of let your characters grow so much organically that the garden has now become a fucking forest, and that we really can't keep this going the way you to follow along the books the way you want. So
we're real sanitary here.
Yeah, it's fine. So we're gonna shrink everything down. We're gonna cut off a couple of the edges of some of these tertiary characters. You probably don't need anything that's integral to the story itself, but we're gonna try to move this forward along at a good clip and see what happens with this. And for the first 5 or 6 seasons, they were for the most part pretty on board with all of this. Until they turned around and for whatever reason, they basically said, okay, well, season 8 is going to be the end. You have X number of episodes. We're going to make this happen. This is going to end. You instantly went from going from plotters to probably around season 4 or 5 to be pantsers, which basically means writing at the seat of your pants, just seen as the characters grow organically. So you saw a lot of stuff start expanding out here and there to, oh shit, we now have a deadline. Now we have a finite number of episodes we can show something. We have to go back to being plotters, and we have to change, or not really change, we have to change the pacing of everything, and probably have to cut some things down that would normally take probably another season to get through to feel more organically. Like everyone's talking about Danny going full crazy, full mad queen in
also,
this
spoilers,
last episode.
If you haven't watched the last episode.
It was going to happen.
If you haven't seen past episode 5,
Yeah, spoilers. But a lot of people looked at that and go, oh, she just snapped a turn of a hat. We could never see that coming. No, that was...
There was a prophecy in season 3.
Yeah. Since then, there's been extra steps have been taken with that character in the series to show that she's going to get to that point eventually. This problem is because of the accelerated time frame.
The retarded moms that were upset. It's like, I'm naming my kid Khaleesi. It's like, really? You didn't even name your kid the character's name.
Nope.
You named them title. That's blatant. That's like, oh, that's my son over there. What's his name? King. King what? No, his name's King. What?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, for like the longest time,
and then all the Huskies.
I couldn't remember her name, Daenerys, so I just kept calling her Khaleesi.
A lot of people did. I also look at it as just like a lot of people who named all their husky pups Ghost. Now they're all sad. Anyways, so with everything being
you can throw fucking Aaron Rodgers and show him get wrecked.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Why does Game of Thrones feel the need to do these cameos?
I have no idea.
They never do anything but detract from the story and pulling me out of the world.
Which one?
All of them.
Martin Starr? The dude from It's Always Sunny taking an arrow to the face? Aaron Rodgers getting burnt alive? Those are the
Why?
3 I know they've already done from this season.
And then what's that stupid singer guy?
Well, yeah, that I was whatever.
Yeah, but I look at all that. I'm like, did we?
Ed Sheeran.
Thank you. Did we really need to have all of that? Because everything I saw on my newsfeed for like the next week beyond that is like, look at how he got into this and how his character got in here.
The Ed Sheeran one, like I was like, oh, that's just kind of cool. Like that, it is what it is.
I just saw it as unnecessary. That's fine. That's
but
just
this
me.
new one where they're like every week we're throwing in some random fucking celebrity just because.
Yeah. We're at the end of the series. We have to, further shrink everything we have planned into only a small number of episodes. But let's take more screen time away from that to throw these cameos in here. Because we're not like we're the most watched series on Earth right now.
Let's ignore the fact that we keep showing you this one pretty boy and watch him just fucking get wrecked in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was the Tully.
That was tasty.
It's the weirdest fucking scotch, though. Because it does have a lot of peat to it.
It does have a bit of peat to it.
But the weird thing is, if you add an ice cube to it, it tastes even more of alcohol.
Really?
I've never seen a scotch do that before.
That is interesting. Usually it expands the flavors
It should
out.
mellow it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That's weird. All right, well, that was a Tully. Where we're going to jump on to now?
Stark.
House Stark. Okay. Well, with Game of Thrones having a single episode left in the entire series, what are your predictions what's going to happen? As he's...
Hopefully Tyrion gets his dick sucked.
Well, yeah, every time he's mentioned that, I want to go out when I'm 80. Around,
In bed with a bunch of beautiful women.
Yeah?
The way I want to go out.
Do you think that's going to happen?
Motherfucking Orville Redenbacher. Dude died in a hot tub at the age of 80.
Hey.
With like 2 20-year-olds or some shit.
You know what he was about?
Trying to make sure it's even.
Oh, you're fine. That's fine. Okay, what else are you predicting for the series finale?
I think one of the Stark girls is going to die. I would prefer it not be Sansa.
So basically that leaves Arya.
But, either way it's possible neither of them die.
True.
Remember, they even said at one point, they're like, oh yeah, one of the Stark girls dies. But again, I think this all could just be a massive misdirect.
Well, because they've said stuff like that before in the past. I mean, people are looking at what the hell is the nearest Dany's actress's name? I forget her name.
Huh?
Dany's Khaleesi.
Oh,
yeah, Emilia Clarke.
Emilia? What did you call her?
Emilia Clarke.
There you go, Emilia Clarke.
Amelia Pond. No.
Baby, I would have come back for you because I'm Batman.
Anyways, in a recent, well, actually, I wouldn't say recent, even an older interview, they were talking about, so you filmed your last scenes, what do you expect about it? And she was grimacing the whole time, like, I don't know what I can actually say.
You guys, there's a whole video of the Game of Thrones actors being like, oh, so how'd you feel up at the end of the series? One guy's like, disappointed.
Well, because it's one of those, they filmed these so long ago, and didn't they film multiple endings for this?
They did. As far as I know, they filmed multiple different endings in the off chance there's a leak. So they're playing a shell game.
Yeah, okay, we'll see what happens with that. I mean, granted, given the amount of backlash they've received so far for this season so far, and of course the end of the series, that D&D has already come out and basically stated that when the final episode airs, they will be at an undisclosed location, turning off our phones and opening various bottles. They're going to make sure they're going to be very drunk and far away from the internet as much as possible, and coming back much, much later after it's over. Even if you were expecting a success, you want to have some sort of tie-in with all that. Them turn around saying, oh, no, we're staying away from everything.
Well, that could also be just the fact that you're not going to be able to please everybody. So you're bound to piss off or ruffle a few
They're
feathers.
not pleasing anybody right at this point right now. So, like, upwards till the end of Season 6, I was a huge fan, and I enjoyed most of what they've done so far. the action sequences in season 7 and season 8, well, season 7, some of the action sequences have been impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I've liked some of the
Oh, so
story
you meant
parts on
like
there.
some of the stuff they've done isn't just the rest of the show, not just season 8.
Right.
Because season 8,
Well, that's the whole problem. That's what we're talking about at this point, because season 8 is so drastically different in terms of tone and pacing and writing.
so for season, the first episode's the only good one.
Yeah. I mean, everything else has been, for at least for me, a letdown.
Actually, no, I take it back. The first 2 episodes were good.
The whole thing with going against the whites, the controversy over it being one of the darkest scenes ever filmed, and the cinematographer comes out saying, "I know what it should look like. It'll look this great if it was in the theater. It's just your TVs that are fucked up." No, if I can't see anything what's going on.
No, he said we should adjust our TV settings. You guys don't know how to adjust them. And then he made the comments, "It looked great in theaters."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, really? Then why not give us that chance? Why not let us have the opportunity to go
Which
see it?
they
I gotta
have,
Fathom events.
which they have in the past. They've done things where they've shown the first episode of season like 5 and 6 in theaters itself. That was great. I wasn't able to go to it, but a lot of people I know did, and they said it was a fantastic experience. Why they haven't done any of that for season 7 and 8 makes me curious, especially something like that. But anyways,
I wonder if that's in an effort to reduce spoils or leaks.
yeah, possibly. So, well, we'll see what happens. Oh, you gave your predictions. What's happening at the end? I had actually written mine out earlier.
Well, I gave a half-assed one, yeah.
Yeah, well, I have one right here. So I got Dany is gonna. What I'm predicting is Dany is gonna try to kill Jon and Tyrion, but Arya is gonna step in and kill her first. In the chaos of said situation, Jon will find some way and eventually kill Drogon. And the Iron Throne and the rest of King's Landing will be destroyed with wildfire. Just lay the whole place to waste, more so than it already does at this point, so it can't be brought back up. I expect Jon will then at that point go back up north, hopefully to meet up with Ghost beyond the wall, and because he doesn't want to be part of anything, and no one's going to try to catch him or find him up there.
Hopefully.
With that, Sansa is probably going to rule from Winterfell because there has to be a Stark in Winterfell. With Tyrion as either her hand or her husband, or maybe both. Arya, I can imagine after everything that she's experienced and the trauma the PTSD that she basically has at the end of episode 7, will probably go off and try to live her life with Gendry after killing Dany, because I think she only has that one final name on her list.
Cersei?
Cersei. No, not Cersei. Well, Cersei was on it. But most likely she'll probably come back and kill Dany.
I also think there's a possibility that what's his face isn't dead. My blank on name. The other Lannister, no hand, Jaime.
After being buried by the Red Keep.
And did you see him specifically get murdered?
No. And that actually says a lot in Game of Thrones. So you assume someone's dead, and usually they're not.
I think Chikar, whatever the fuck his name, the faceless man.
Uh-huh.
I think he might come back and kill Arya.
Saying that you escaped us, you know the punishment for that is death. Or...
You've done your list. You are owed a death.
Yeah.
Or sorry, you owe us a life. Because she technically does.
That's
she
true.
She still has an outstanding debt.
Yeah, she does. I didn't even remind myself of that until you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm. I would love it if Tyrion comes out as a Targaryen. Just because of the whole... There's evidence to support that.
Well, there's been plenty of rumors of saying that there's going to be... How they're going to reveal that is Dany's going to try to kill...
That was me. That was me just talking out of my ass. That because...
But it would be interesting, though. That
she tried to burn him a Drogon like she did Varys. And then he walks out.
Yeah. I mean, buck-ass naked, but yeah.
Who doesn't want to see a little half-man dick? Okay?
It's not to scale.
Ha ha! Not to scale. At that point, it would free Jon to go fuck off and do whatever he wants to do.
That's true. I mean,
and it leaves Tyrion to rule the South and Sansa to rule the North.
I don't see Tyrion ruling, though. I think he's happier being a hand at that point. I mean, he said himself he'd be happy if he can go back to be a whoremonger, but that's not going to happen.
Robert Baratheon.
You really think so? Okay. We'll see with that. All right. Anything else we should add about this? Our predictions for the series finale?
Like, those aren't even my predictions. Mine are too wildish and landish to actually be real.
Okay.
I'd love it if they were. But I know damn Skippy I'm not getting any of those things.
All of a sudden, George R. R. Martin comes out on stage and goes, "This was all a dream."
Mario wakes up in bed, and it turns out Mario 2 was all a dream. Okay.
All right, let's talk. Well, you are talking about Chris Rock, so let's talk about Disenchantment, which was Matt Groening's latest series for Netflix. It was based basically a medieval version of The Simpsons. Will be back on September 20th, my birthday.
Good. I didn't watch any of the first. I watched like 3 episodes of the first season.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed it.
Because you left me in here. You're like, all right, I'll go cook dinner before we start filming. So here.
Yeah, you did not watch.
It was all right.
But you won't go back.
I have no real strong need. Maybe one day.
Okay, fair enough. What else with that? Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. Return to season 4.
In this November, right?
Uh-huh. What I want to know is, are they going to keep hold to their word of the seasons being longer? Because remember, they made mention we come back, we're going to have 18 episode long seasons instead of like the 13.
Well, remember, like a year ago, they came out and said, like, we have a contract for 70 some odd more episodes.
Well, no, because what happened was about a year ago, they wanted to know when season 4 was coming out, and then Justin Roiland's like, I have no idea. Literally, stop asking me.
Yeah.
Why? Shouldn't you know when you're supposed to come back? No, we haven't been renewed.
No.
What do you mean? It's possible Rick and Morty could be canceled. What? And then everyone lost their shit.
We were contracted for X amount of episodes. We completed said contract.
Yeah. We were told you do, your 3 seasons at this much.
Right.
Or sorry, you did your first season. You were given 2 more seasons. You're supposed to do about 13 episodes a pop. And now we did that. And then they came out and they're like, cool. We were told that if we do another season, what we're going to do is we're going to have 18 more episodes instead of 13. But that's if we get it. That's what we want. That's what we want to have.
Yep.
And then back in almost a year ago, because I think it was when we went to Vegas for Lauren's bachelor party.
Yeah. So it was.
That's when they said.
Yeah, it was May 10th, 2018.
A year ago.
When they announced that they got 70 order for 70 more episodes.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to get 70 more episodes. They're going to get like 3 or 4 more seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But it still begs the question is when they're coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And now.
Yeah, because during that break, people thought they were just sitting there just making new episodes and thinking of new storylines. No, they had no contract. They're not going to do any work. They're not going to pre-plan anything.
Yeah.
They were off doing God knows what.
God knows what. Justin Roiland's making a TV show, for Amazon? We talked about that.
He is,
either Amazon or Netflix?
No, I'm talking about the rest of the writers and the artists and whatnot. They're not sitting there waiting.
Well, he probably kept him on to do something.
You think so?
I think he would have easily contracted his people out. Like, all right, cool, this is our team.
But I'm saying they're not just sitting there waiting on just Rick and Morty.
They're not going to just sit there with their thumb up their ass.
No, they got other stuff to work on. Strike while the iron's hot kind of thing.
Yeah.
I worked on one of the most popular cartoons on TV now. Why am I going to sit around and do nothing?
Mm-hmm.
I can make bank going someplace else. Yeah. So, yeah, in November, it will be coming out. Like you said, no idea how long the episodes, the seasons will be. But if you're doing 70 episodes and they're only like a few more seasons, you could probably do 24.
Well, you're looking at least 15.
Yeah. It'll be nice. So we'll have to see what happens with all of that. And if anybody tries to bring up saying, "Oh, what about the Szechuan sauce?" Shut up. Don't.
I want to know what their obsession is with redheads.
That is true. They do have an obsession.
I think it might just be a Dan Harmon thing.
He's mentioned that multiple times in Harmontown.
Kind of like the Szechuan sauce for Justin Roiland, because I finally finished Community, and Jeff Winger's idea of what his next season would be. He's at the study group table, and it's just all redheaded women.
Yep.
I mean, I understand my affliction.
I was gonna say that's your dream.
So in the last season, there's an episode where Morty does his thing where he puts the helmet on to summon whatever you're thinking about.
And redheads and all the redheads come
women
in.
come everywhere. When Rick hangs out with the hive mind.
The hive mind, she's a redhead.
Unity. And what was his wish? He wants to hang glide into a stadium full of redheads. When Morty went all
bunch of dads looking at it like it's empty. Go, son, go.
When when Morty went all like American Psycho, when he got purged of all of his bad shit.
Yep.
Big titty redhead.
Yep. He has a thing. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. All right, we'll see what happens with all of that. Moving on. Nintendo has this weird thing that may or may not save you money in the future, but only if you give them money now.
It won't.
They have this game voucher offer that they announced today. So it's like a members-only discount, according to this article from Polygon, but only if you're a Switch Online customer. So basically, if you subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online, which is about $20 a year, allows you to play some online games, have access to the old-school NES games that you can play online and offline for some of them, plus some extra SP modes here and there. You have the option at that point to purchase, to spend $99.99, basically $100, so you can buy a pair of game vouchers. The whole idea behind this is that this allows you in the future to redeem them on the eShop for 2 full-price Switch games. Usually they're about $60, if not more. So in theory, you can save $20 if you spend $100 now. But you don't know what this is going to be for, what games you would want to buy this for. You are prepaying Nintendo for games, or you're basically pre-ordering and paying almost full price.
Well, full price is $60 now.
Yeah, for 2 games, you don't even know what's going to be coming out at that point. Now, granted, you can buy them you can use those on a couple games right now, because it's very rare when Nintendo drops their first party titles below $60. Things like Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. They just announced Super Mario Maker 2, and that was a huge thing online. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, but here's the other thing. A lot of these games...
I forgot they were doing that. Alliance 3?
Alliance 3, yeah.
Well, Alliance 2 came out on Xbox 360.
360.
I think it was awesome, but...
Mm-hmm. And now I think it's exclusive. The Black Order is going to be exclusive on Switch. I could be wrong about that. Anyways.
Doesn't surprise me. That game's not meant to be like impressive graphically.
No, it's not. But Nintendo's not been known to be impressive graphics. They're known to be for fun gameplay. So.
Well, no, that was the whole point of the Alliance games.
That's true.
Where it's like, cool. Did you know if you put these 4 heroes together, you'll get an extra buff? Why? Because they showed up in this one comic as like an alternate version of the Fantastic Four. What, super nerd?
I mean, you're not wrong. Anyways,
sorry, I love those games. That's why I just had to nerd out for a second.
Nothing wrong with that. What show are we doing?
I drink so much, most of my brain cells are gone.
All right, fair enough.
I have just enough to usually correct you.
You do on an astonishing number of times. Anyways.
Stop being wrong.
Remember this whole thing about how the song trailer came out?
Yeah.
And everybody hated it to the point that the director came out and said, we're making changes.
I mean, I didn't hate it. You guys did.
I hated it.
I mean, it's weird to me now that I'm the one being optimistic.
I hated it.
Eh.
So, a lot of people when it came online,
He could have been black. They could have given him a gun and a life bar made with watermelon.
He's not Shadow.
I still don't get that. That is the most racist fucking thing, and they thought it was fine. Shadow didn't even have a gun or anything to do with watermelon when he came out as a character.
And the thing is, we can't even say that, oh, that was the 90s. That was like 2003, 2004, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Anyway.
No, that would have been...
Was it later?
No, it would have been earlier. I want to say, because that was Sonic Adventure 2. I want to say it was like 2004 or 3.
Yeah, rolling around at the speed of sound.
Because, well... Gotta follow my rainbow.
Anyway, so this trailer came out and a lot of people fucking hated it for good reason.
If they don't play Pumpkin Hill, I'm gonna be pissed.
It's bad enough that the town that they're in is Green Hills.
I'm cool with that.
So they come out and the director states that, okay, we've heard you. We're gonna make changes to this. Stay tuned.
Well, my favorite was because I still have a lot of friends who are like in Beer Wednesday and like they still read a lot of like the articles you probably read because you have friends doing the same shit.
Right.
They all came out and like, you're gonna do what? That is a fucking logistical nightmare.
Yes.
Having to redo an entire movie like that, and you're not moving the release date back.
Yeah. For example, IO9 actually interviewed several people who actually are special effects artists in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
Just to change um, the skeleton and the framework and the musculature of a a fully CG character can take anywhere from 3 to 9 months. Not counting the amount of render time it takes to go back, redo all those scenes, and then re-render all of them.
I say not even that. Either the processing for rendering, the fact that you're doing this for a main character, someone who's supposed to carry the entire film.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people started asking, was this a marketing ploy?
You mean like Daenerys' Starbucks cup?
Yes.
We can agree, right? Like they did that to like.
Here's the thing, though. If it was actual Starbucks, I would agree with you completely on that part. Because that'd be an amazing marketing ploy, and Starbucks would make a shitload of advertising.
No. Like, as a ploy to be like, hey, we're going to distract you by giving you this one obvious, glaring, like, flaw.
No.
So you forget these other flaws that we're making that you might have to actually look for.
No, I don't believe it's something like that. I think it was an honest mistake. I think craft services were sitting there, and they were just reshooting scenes. Because Emilia Clarke was saying that was hers. It was from craft services, and it actually was an herbal tea.
HBO, where everyone's like, sorry, it was not a latte, it was an herbal tea. And then they removed it like 2 days later.
Yeah, for all these streaming options at that point. With this, though, I'm starting to believe that this was a marketing ploy itself, because they gotta imagine, we're gonna make a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. We're not going to get much publicity at this point.
Because most people already gave up on it?
Exactly. So it's one of those, what if we turned around and provided a trailer so god-awful?
I didn't think it was that awful.
The character design. You even said yourself, when they had the first motion teaser poster for it, when he was like, he has defined human legs.
That was weird.
That was really weird. Compared to the character we've known for, let's face it, decades. At this point.
Yeah.
So it's one of those.
Came out in 91.
So why would you try to change something so drastically at that point? And if you're saying that you're going to be making changes to the main character, and you're not changing the release date, either you have some new superpower. I want a scene
where he's eating chili dogs. I want to see a scene where Dr. Robotnik creates Scratch. Oh, what's the other one's name? Those two robots from the fucking Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon?
Two doofy ones? Yeah.
Yes. One was like a chicken, the other one looked like a weird gopher.
Mm-hmm.
With
treads.
Tank treads?
Yeah.
And I want Tails to show up at some point. They'll probably have him show up and be like, boom, you get him in the sequel. Just like the video games.
Yeah, that's true. Then will we eventually get Knuckles?
That's right. And then they'll release the biggest banger of all time. Pumpkinhead, remixed by Kanye.
But when would they
come in 2024?
Does that mean we'll actually also have the limited edition series for Netflix featuring the Chows?
No, they'll show up as some kind of weird cutesy thing, so you can pick up the vinyl pop.
Oh God! But anyways, with all this, to me and many other people out there on the internet, this is starting to reek of, if you are not changing all of this, this was planned deliberately. Would you think they would actually do that?
No.
It makes perfect marketing sense. Release something so horrible it goes viral. Turn around and become the savior
you mean
of
like certain directors have done to fuck with the MPAA?
No, this is true. Yes, they love to do that.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
All the time.
When they made South Park movie, they turned it in twice, and they kept getting an NC-17.
Yes, they did.
So they turned around and made one that they thought warranted being an NC-17, and said, all right, if we can't have our R, what if we do this movie, but we'll promise to take out this scene, and this scene? All right, you'll have your R rating. Cool, because that was the first draft we sent in. We only added these fucked up scenes to get what we wanted.
Yes. Same with the title itself. It was, I forget what the original name was that they said they can't do that. So they turned around and said, bigger, harder, uncut.
Really?
Giant dick joke, and then turned around and said, okay, that's fine.
The fractured butthole?
Oh, that was brilliant. Yeah. They know what they're doing at this point. And I'm
sorry,
hoping
my wrist is starting to hurt from jacking off Matt Stone and Trey Parker so hard for that 2 minutes.
I'm just hoping that Sonic the Hedgehog does well. It makes sense for them just to put out this viral trailer that's supposed to be, inflame the internet, and then they turn around and basically say, "We have a better trailer for you with the character you want," and all of a sudden everyone turns around and says,
"It only has to be marginally better.
You've done everything we want you to do. I will support this movie," and it makes like $150 million, if not more. So we'll see what happens.
Give me Rouge the Bat. Giant furry bat titties.
Why do you want that?
I don't. I'm just making
Why
wildish
the
demands.
fuck do you want that?
This is me just throwing random names out there, just to see. They're like, oh, if that's what the fans want, that's what the fans want.
And the fans are wrong at that point.
Fans are always wrong.
Considering where we're at now compared to where we were when we first started, #NotMyJoker.
Yeah.
We've come a long way in terms of all the amount of drinks that we have tried over the years. And I mean years. And
it's been like 2 years.
Almost 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, by the end of this year, we'll probably get to maybe 100, probably.
Oh, yeah, easily.
At that point.
As long as we don't fuck off and disappear for 3 months again.
Yeah, I know, no kidding. At that point. And eventually we will move and we'll actually have a better set. And we'll have more drinks available, and we'll actually have more of a budget to offer, more like we used to at that point, having a different drink. I miss the times where we would have those unique drinks. I love the Arbor Gold that we had today itself.
I was gonna say, fuck you. I guess I'll just stop trying to make drinks every time then.
I love the drinks that we have. But remember when we first started trying to have...
I made a drink every fucking episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was also very expensive, to be honest.
Who do you think actually... You've seen my bar at home, though.
That is true.
That bottom shelf is full of mixers.
Mm-hmm. I remember that was just books, not just mixers.
No, this was an addition.
Mm-hmm.
The bookshelf is still there, full of books. Remember, the bookshelf went from being here on the wall to here on the other wall. New roommate Jen bought a bookshelf. It's like, cool, we have a place for all the booze now. Oh, Drea wants a bookshelf too. We can give this to her. Cool. Fuck, I'm running out of space for books and other booze. I'm stealing this one.
That is true. Well, I'll think about this real quick before we do the toast real quick. When was our first episode? Because I'm running these way back to the beginning, which was... Jesus Christ, was it 4 years ago? It was April 8th, 2015. Oh my god. Then again, back then we were starting off with an episode a week, and then we moved to episode every 2 weeks.
And
Sometimes we're a little farther than that, but...
some gaps are bigger than others.
Holy shit.
Huh.
We've been doing this for 4 years.
You haven't tried to murder me yet.
Likewise.
Wait, scroll down. When was the first episode technically?
4. We're at that a little over a year and a month. Year and a month and like 6 days.
Well, 2015?
Yeah.
We're at 4 years and a month.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, sorry. Yes, 4 years.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have given you more booze.
God, we've been doing this for 4 years. Holy shit. All right.
Huh.
Well,
Neat.
that's a random thing for us to talk about. Anyways,
well, like I said, as again, by the time everything starts going, we'll probably get back to that eventually. Right now, I still want to play with the different liquors and boozes.
We'll get to all
I figured
that
out the
point.
gins.
Yes, you did. That was tasty.
I'll probably play with vodkas a bit more.
We'll do tequilas again in the future. We'll tie the mezcals in, but that's also very expensive. So we'll get into that at a later
Lauren
date.
has one of those.
This is true.
But that's gonna be more. But again, there's more stuff I want to do, and especially I would like to get into tiki, which again means I also have to start getting into rum.
I mean, you've seen our plans for the bar when we move in. It's going to be tiki themed.
You also know that I know with each one of those glasses that I'm not getting. My plan is to make a drink for each one of them.
True, very true. I mean, hell, we've already started buying artwork for our future bar.
You're a taken man. So.
I mean, we went to this and it was, Tiki Surf Witches want blood. And we actually bought the comic.
Ginger.
Yeah. And we actually bought the comic that goes with it, which actually had a bunch of drinks and mixers with itself. So, I'm looking forward to trying those in the future. So we have plenty of options in the future.
But if there's anything specifically you want to see me do or something like that, let me know and I can.
Yeah, let us know in the comments
Science.
below. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out for, as we found out just right now, 4 years of this.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, for Geeks and Drinks, I'm Jason.
I'm Jordan. To the half man!
Cheers, Internet.